I was expecting this, and I'm still nervous. And still surprised. I was sitting in the office the other day. I was working, everybody left, and I think my assistant didn't close the door properly, and I heard, hello, 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 and then in popped a head at my office. First of all, I got a fantastic letter where John described to me how Phil Masterton-Smith, who I never knew existed, did this unbelievable thing, winning at the Comrades at the youngest age ever, 19 years, and then 2 years later, with no money, he cycled. It's crazy. He cycled there and he almost won it again. It's just incredible, and how it caught him. And I got my Red Sox. I got a pair. I got my Red Sox, and he asked me if I could come and just wish you good luck. So I said yes, and I mean the letter he wrote inspired me. And this morning I got a link to a video that was put together, and that was crazy. A couple of things that struck me. First of all, you're very brave. It's incredibly brave to do what you're doing. It's a hell of a thing, you know, to cycle on average about 167 kilometers every day, and then go and run one of the toughest marathons in the world. It's incredibly brave. That's the first thing that struck me. Second thing is that you must be incredibly passionate. You can't just do this without passion. And that's something that sometimes is lacking in a lot of people, is that they're not passionate enough. You know, they complain, as Bernard Shaw often said. You know, I don't believe in people that blame circumstances. I believe in people that actually try and go and find those circumstances. And they can't find them, they go and make them. You know, those are the people that's going to change the world. I think you're crazy, you're mad to do this. It's the reason I'm walking is because I can't run anymore. I'm now a strogger. It's sort of between a stroll and a jog. That's what I do. My knees have left me. It's taken a lot of damage, and actually my doctor said I should cycle. I've just not got into the cycling thing. But watching this morning, I thought, can I do this? Can I, if I start training now, do it next year? And I just parked that thought right away. Because the running thing, I think, will get me in. I did an ultra, and I know what it takes. I did the 2 Oceans for a charity, and the longest run I did in preparation was an hour. And I nearly died. No, I nearly died. VP, I heard about you. This morning, Frans Cronje arrived at my office in cycling gear. I mean, he had an interview, and he told me that you're doing it. En ja, die Afrikaners kan vastbyt, nee. So I did that, and the other thing I've done as an ultra thing is for a charity, I decided one day we'll run the London Marathon. That's how the running thing started. Now, I'm a big fat boy, I'm a forward, you know. The difference between my jogging pace and my sprinting pace is a facial expression. So I can actually say that I sprinted the London Marathon for CHOC, Cancer for Children. And that's how I got into charity. So there's a couple of things I want to share with you, how I got into charity, because you guys are doing it for great causes. Kitch Christie, unbelievable man, my mentor and our coach in 1995, and his record is still not even touched. He's got 100% win record, 14 test matches and the World Cup, and just a wise man. He had cancer for 18 years, and in 1993, he was in intensive care in Pretoria, and they thought they was going to pass away. And I was the only non-family member allowed to go and say hi to him with a mask on, and you know, he was talking tactics. We were playing the Blue Bulls, and then we used to beat the Blue Bulls and the Stormers and everybody, the Lions, you know. It's a long time ago. And we were playing the Blue Bulls in the final, and we were talking tactics, and I just, coach just said, relax, you know, we don't want to talk tactics. No, are you ready, and so forth. He was just so focused. And I, at one stage, asked him a very simple question, which is a question I always wanted to ask him. I said, you've had cancer for 18 years. I've never, ever heard you complain. He said to me, I've got no reason to complain. He said, I want you to go to the Children's Cancer Ward. And I don't know if you've ever been in a Children's Cancer Ward. I've never been. So I walked there. Unbelievable. I came back. I said, I get it. And he said, that's why. You know, I've had a fantastic time. He came through. We won the final the next day. And on the Monday, I started phoning. I thought, I've got to do something. You know, I can't. I've been really privileged. And I got hold of this number of CHOC in the Joburg General Hospital, Sister Sadie Cutland. I said, can I come and see you? I want to help you guys. She says, no, we need somebody famous to come and help us. I convinced her. I went to see her. And when I parked in the garage, there were people sleeping on the floor in the garage, waiting for their children while they were getting chemotherapy. And walked in, that was unbelievable. So I said, I really want to help. And at that moment in time, it's about timing. Jeremy Mansfield heard about CHOC, and we all got involved. And we did a telethon, and the one thing led to the other. And I said bravely in front of, when we opened the first CHOC house, that I will run the London Marathon to raise money. I didn't have to do it. You know, we had a really big telethon. People were incredibly generous. One of the great stories was in Sandton. We had a telethon, and people were phoning in, and this lady came walking towards me, and she had a bag. I think it was a Pick and Pay bag, but she had Prada's, Gucci, everything was incredible. She walked up to me. She says, "I heard your story. I heard it. I like it. You guys are doing a great job." So I went to all my clients, and I said, "Come, give." And she got about 15 or 16,000 rand in that package. She said, "Yeah, there we go." And she turned around and she walked away. From that story to great stories where I mean, very emotional, because cancer is incredibly emotional. And Kitch died. I went to say goodbye to him in New York at the Sloan Kettering Memorial Hospital. So that's how I got involved in charity. And when I came back from the UK, long lunch here in Cape Town with a bunch of mates, I said, "Come on, guys, let's do something and let's make a difference." And that's how MAD started. And basically what we do is we raise funds, we do crazy things, we have golf days, and we have fun. And we support kids that are bright, but they don't have money. One of our first kids from the flats here is studying engineering at Harvard, and he played Othello. And one of the ladies from Soweto, Claudia Masamola, is studying at Bucknell University. She shot the lights out. Our best scholar last year from KZN, incredible story. Now, they've got nothing, these kids, but they've got a brain. He scored 100% for maths and matric, 8 distinctions, and an average of 93. So that's how I got involved, and it just energizes me. Now, to meet people that are so passionate, you could see in his eyes, this guy is passionate. He really loves what he's doing, and I'm sure when I meet his friends, they share that same passion. And another coach that had a fantastic influence on me, a really positive guy, he always said, remember the 4 Ds. And the 4 Ds is desire. You know, if you don't want something badly, it's not a desire. I always refer to as Spice Girls. You know, tell me what you want, what you really, really, really want. You have to have a desire for something, otherwise it fades. I think the best example must be Martin Luther King, who said, I say this to my friends, in spite of these difficult times, I still have a dream. It's a dream deeply rooted in the American way of life. It's a dream that one day the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will sit down at the table of brotherhood. That's proper desire. So, you know, if I reflect on one of the greatest successes that we've had in 1995 as a team, is we lived that. You know, we wanted to win for this country more than anything else, and we trained harder than we could have trained, and we pushed our bodies to where it's never been before, like you guys have done. And then you push it even further. And then you realize, but I can do more. And at the end, you've pushed your body and you're in total control. You know, you're really fit, and you know you're going to go through pain, but you know you can take pain. You know you can take those dark places. And you're with mates that support you. It becomes easier and easier. The second thing is dedication. You know, if you know what you want, why? Why do you want to do this? And you guys have crystallized it. And you're doing it for charity. You do it for other people. You're doing it for somebody that 80-odd years ago did something that was just incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible to think what he did. You know, it's amazing. And to do that and help others along the way is very special. And if I reflect again on our story, we wanted to do it for South Africans, obviously for yourself. You know, you're playing in the World Cup, it's the biggest event ever. So yes, you want to win for yourself and for your family. Because the first time I became a Springbok, the phone started ringing. It was my mum on the one side crying, my son, and on the other side is my brother asking for tickets. You know, it's, but we wanted to win for the country. And you mentioned what I said when I was interviewed. And a lot of people have asked me, was that, you know, did you think about that? Was it planted? And I always say I'm not clever enough to think about these things beforehand. It's what I saw happen in this country over the 6 weeks from when we arrived here, and the lady that checked us in had a Springbok jumper on. Black lady. Why would she wear a Springbok jumper? In her house, and I'm sure in the way she was brought up, that was a symbol of not good things. very bad things. But she wore a Springbok jumper, and the gentleman that served us breakfast would say, "You must eat well. You're playing Australia, you must eat enough, you must eat, you must be strong." From that, fast forward to what happened on the day of the final. I mean, I can stand here and talk and tell you stories about street kids selling newspapers, running behind us and next to us and shouting the names of the players, to Madiba, you know, wearing my jumper, which was just unreal. But it was crystallized in a slogan that our CEO came up with: one team, one country. And that is what we were all about. We were here for South Africa. And when I was asked after the final by the gentleman, how did it feel to win in front of 65,000 people, it was a natural reply. It couldn't be for the privileged people that had tickets. And the irony actually of that day is there were about 65,000 people. And at full time we were 9-all. And 99.9% of those people were white. A lot of them were Afrikaners. And they started singing Shosholoza. It's incredible. It's in the Ndebele song, what the mine workers sang. And here was the stadium singing Shosholoza. If you think about it now, it's just, wow, where did that come from? Incredible. And obviously what happened was quite special with Madiba. How? Dedication. How are you going to get there? You guys have trained, you've put in the hard work, you've cycled, you've run, you've done all the hard work, but you're going to need support. And I'm sure you'll get the support, and well done for that. And I think the most important thing, the fourth D, is discipline. And if you didn't have the discipline, you would not be, you would not make it, and you're not going to get to the finish line. But you had that discipline. And if I again reflect on us, that was the key differentiator, is that we had discipline. Because we Afrikaners, we're aggressive. You know, you don't bump me, I moer you. It's that's how we often play rugby. But we learned early on that you have to control that aggression. I remember, in 1994, we lost a tour in New Zealand because we were indisciplined. You know, we were sometimes playing the man and not the ball, because the man irritated us so much that the red mist comes over. But if it wasn't for the discipline in the final, I don't think we would have won. You know, even if we did score a try, Ruben Kruger scored it, we spoke beforehand. We said, you know, the referee, every referee is different. Again, I'm ad-libbing here. If I reflect on the last World Cup, before that World Cup, we were amateurs. We actually I studied the referees. Every referee's got a different personality and mannerisms, and the way he applies the laws is totally different to the other one. So you can't come with a script and say, hey, you know, you're not really acting kosher here. You have to understand his personality, and if they're a barrister or a lawyer, you don't argue with them, you know. But if they are a marketer, you can argue with them, and you need to do that. And Ed Morrison, I knew, an English guy, you should never ever argue with this guy. So if we didn't have that discipline, we might have given away a silly penalty and so forth. And I would be standing in front of you as nothing really, because that's sport. It's cruel, it's beautiful, but it's ruthless. You either win or you don't. In closing, and you can ask me one or two questions. You guys have already won. You did it last year, and you're doing it again. And you'll see that if you can keep on doing it, and your body allows you to do it, and other people pick up the baton and they do it in years to come, this might become something really, really special. And you've left a footprint. You've left a cycle mark on the road. You've left a legacy behind, which is something that in your rocking chair one day you'll be incredibly proud of. So well done, and thank you for asking me to say a couple of words here.